Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Strong language, mature scenes, and things that go bump in the night are ahead. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to cosmic entities from the great beyond, are strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am your keeper this evening, Keeper Michael. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back with our tale inside our Arkham Investigation series, The Queen of the Night. And so welcome back to our story. We hope you've had a wonderful time so far. And we're going to get into player and character introductions in just a moment. But before I do that, it would be remiss if I did not mention that you can join us on Patreon. You can do that at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. And why that's important is as this show sets out and as it continues to do what it does, one of the things that it is doing in the future is paying GMs to run for us. We are investing in our community. And we are supporting others within the gaming community to make their lives a little bit better. And you can do that through supporting us. One of the many ways that we do what we do. You can also find us on YouTube and you can find us on Twitch. So please do so at twitch.tv/theoldwaystwitch. And we look forward to seeing you there. And now we will get to player and character introductions, which begin to my right.
Hi, this is Morgan, and I am playing Annie Mae Thorgood. Our pronouns are she, her. And we have been doing some reading about some ancient cultures and Celtic and pagan rituals, and probably going to do a little bit more looking into that.
Yeah, seems reasonable. And next to Annie Mae.
Hi, I'm Bunny. I'm playing Detective Beatrice Locke. Our pronouns are she, her, and I'm hoping that this illustration could turn into something.
As am I. Last but most certainly not least.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I play Catherine Chamberlain, and I'm heading down to the police station to help someone draw the woman of my dreams.
It's a very interesting way to put it, considering that the events behind seeing that woman. So we are in the missing Charles Thurgood formation for this episode, but fear not, he shall return for all of your ears. So we'll pick up soon after we left off, except to say that Annie Mae and Detective Locke are at the police station when Miss Chamberlain arrives, and there is a sketch artist that has been made available to the detective inside this investigation room. And so we'll just rejoin the show in that sense. So Miss Chamberlain, you are walked through the police station to a what looks like interview room, and there are some members of this crew that you had seen on top of Robin's Hill who have assembled here. Detective, your witness, ? Comes in.
Thanks for swinging by the station. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm meeting with someone who's going to draw the likeness of this woman I saw?
Yes, I have a colleague joining us to sketch who you met on Robin's Hill. May I ask you again what you were doing up there?
I was just trying to get back to the tree and that vantage point again.
The tree that broke under your weight when you climbed it the last time.
Yes.
You chose to climb it again to the same height alone so that nobody would be around if you hurt yourself?
When you put it like that, it makes it sound foolish.
I am not under the illusion that you are unintelligent, Miss Chamberlain. Rash might be a better word. Over-eager, potentially. But I'm not under the illusion that you don't have the smarts to not make those choices. I would just like to see you not die up on that hill also while trying to get a bird's eye view of a scene that you really shouldn't be poking around. If they're in the habit of hurting college students, you going up there and hurting yourself there doesn't seem like it'd be helping anything. And if you go up there alone, you might find trouble up there who's unhappy to be interrupted.
Anyway, this woman.
Yes, this woman. I'll call out of the room that we're ready for the illustrator to join us.
Mr. John Power joins you. He is a Arkham native, and he is a art student, at least part-time, at Miskatonic University. He has helped on several different occasions, and he comes armed with a fistful of pencils, an eraser, and like a cup of coffee and a sketch pad. He sort of sits down and gives Annie Mae some space for her things, but just sits down next to you, Miss Chamberlain, and says, okay, if you're ready, Detective, I can get started.
Yes, please.
And I'll start giving the description of the woman that I saw at the party, because I know that was the person that I was asked to come in and give a sketch for.
Mm-hmm.
I will give the description of that woman, that she, was a little older, what she was wearing, what features I can remember, because my memory is a little hazy, because I was a lot intoxicated at this party.
What I'm going to do for this instance is I'm actually going to have you roll POW to reach back into your vast memory, as spotty as it may or may not be, and pluck the image of that person.
I do, lectures aside, really appreciate you doing this, though, Miss Chamberlain, because this is one of our best leads to help with Brian.
Of course. And I rolled a 53 under 80.
So the woman you describe has sort of unkempt, dark hair, shoulder length, long bangs. She has a pair of very piercing eyes. She has a slight nose, a bit of a upturned mouth. She has a little bit of weight around the face. She was wearing a dress and what looked like most likely some type of black cloak for the Halloween festivities. She didn't appear to wear a lot of makeup, but the thing that gets you most about her is her eyes. You remember them being very powerful hazel orbs that sit in her head.
Yeah, and they're the thing that stuck out to me, the first time that I saw her and the second time I saw her.
Mm-hmm.
The eyes are haunting, and I will make that very, very particularly clear to this young man who's drawing her.
Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is make a illustration roll for the artist and see what he might be able to gather from your description. You have provided a description based on memory, and that is a 21, well under his skill total. So, Detective, the sketch that you get, it's a little concerning.
Sure.
This person looks like they mean to do people harm.
Okay.
You're probably looking for a woman between 30 and 40. You're looking for someone who doesn't have the advantages of high society, probably the advantages of money. The sheer mop of hair that Powers puts on her tells you that the person doesn't conform to any newer styles of hair. Like, her hair is not bobbed, it's not styled in any way, shape, or form. It makes you think that maybe she's just a very common everyday worker, which makes it a little tougher because it means that she could be at literally any level of society. She could be inside a house down the street and you wouldn't know.
And Miss Chamberlain, this looks as accurate as could be from your memory.
Yes.
Well done, Mr. Powers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I do my best. He sort of, what would you like me to do with this, Detective? I can leave it here if you like.
For now, I'll discuss it with the chief in a little bit, so I'll handle it. Thank you.
You hear like the ripping of paper and he leaves it there. Then collects his pencils, pens, and coffee cup, now empty, and exits the room.
Do you remember if this woman was tall or not? Any other info that I can use to narrow down this woman who is definitely identifiable in some ways, but could be anywhere? Like when she was leaving with Brian, did she seem shorter than Brian? A lot shorter? About the same height? Anything that might... I'm not asking for like how many stone you think she weighed and what centimeter you think she came up to.
Well, Keeper, she was taller than Brian because I was at a distance and they were in very close quarters.
Yeah, you don't believe that she was taller than Brian. You believe that she was shorter than Mr. Overton.
Well, I got a pretty good look at her, but not really up close. But I know she was shorter than him. I just don't know by approximately how much. I couldn't say 10% shorter or 30% shorter.
I appreciate that. I know that they mostly were sitting in close proximity during the party before they walked away together. And I was hoping that that might be the thing that stuck out, because I know that Constance didn't recognize her. I did talk to Constance for a little bit. Thank you for that name, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
I will talk to the chief and see what I can do about trying to find this woman. Try not to die falling off a tree. I would hate to see your body be the next one that comes through here.
Yeah, I will do my best. Do you think that she's gonna hurt someone else?
I'm assuming that the woman that was at the party was involved in this, but I'm not sure if she is one of the people who was at the top of the hill actively doing this, or if she handed him off to somebody else. But either way, if she's handing people off to the people who would murder somebody in that way, she is just as dangerous as the people holding the bowl and tying him up. I cannot say what timeline I think she might hurt somebody in again, but I can say that I think that if somebody is all right handing a young adult off to, or doing this themselves to, a young adult in a place that looks like it's been used so many times before, it is unlikely that they would be shy about trying to accomplish this again, but successfully, because they were interrupted and they had to leave their stuff behind. Who knows if they got what they wanted out of this?
Okay.
I would be very careful at parties. I can't tell people like you, college students, not to party, but please be careful at them. And if you see anything like this, again, a much older person who's at the party getting chummy with people, somebody that none of the other students seem to recognize, tell us. Even if it turns out to be a dead end, just tell us, because I'd rather accidentally talk to an adult and just be wondering, hey, why are you partying with people half your age in a town that doesn't recognize you? That's a little weird. And have it be nothing, then have this ever happen again.
Keeper, in the last game, there was a news article that was presented to us about a fire at the Moore residence. That was given to Detective Locke, right?
Correct.
So we have it. All right. So I was kind of reading articles, and I brought some books from the library with me, and I'm just kind of half paying attention. But I forget, what was the correlation with the fire at the Moore residence?
The children of the people who were in that fire are all the nieces of one of the only other descendants of the family that the bowl is the family symbols of. So like the crests in the bowl are for a specific family's crest. These are the only real descendants we could really trace. Well, y'all traced for me to here. Their aunt and the three of them seem to be the last living ones that live in the area. Amelia and Myrtle were in the house but escaped. Another daughter was out of the house at the time and unhurt. Then their aunt seemingly took them when this happened. But those children would be old enough that the youngest might still be in college with Miss Chamberlain, which was another thing I was going to ask about.
I feel like we should go talk to Miss Lowe and her nieces about their whereabouts. Here I am, taking on the detective thing. I'm feeling all detective Locke. I'm sorry. I should not. I don't want to intrude on your investigation. I'm just here to help.
No, it's great. I definitely would like to go talk to them. But while I had Miss Chamberlain in the room, I was going to ask if Myrtle Moore or potentially Lowe now, if they were adopted by their aunt, if that's a classmate of yours at the university.
No, the name doesn't sound familiar, at least not in any of the classes that I'm attending. The university has a fair number of students, so it could just be that even if they are a student, I just haven't crossed paths with them.
That's fair. Needed to know. I will leave you be, Miss Chamberlain. I have some more people to talk to. But thank you again for the sketch.
Yeah, of course. I'll be heading back to the university later on, and I'll be heading to my parents in the meantime if there's anything else you need or that you forgot to ask while I was here.
I greatly appreciate that. Stay safe.
I'll take off and I'll go see my parents.
And I will take the sketch to the chief. Sir, this seems to be the woman that is recalled to be with Brian, very chummy with him, and then leaving the party with the drugged, drunk college student so likely involved.
He looks at it.
Considering the state of her and by appearances and how likely she is to be God knows where in this town, how would you recommend we proceed with trying to find her without giving her a reason to flee? If we plaster her face everywhere, she might lay low somewhere out of town for a while.
Right. That's my exact concern, Detective. I think... What else do we have to go on other than releasing your picture?
Well, both Miss Catherine Chamberlain and Miss Constance Edmond both saw this woman getting him drunk at the party and being all over him and keeping him from other people in obligations and then leaving with him. So she is the last known person to see him alive and is very likely the person who drugged him. So I'm not sure what we can go off of in regards to specifically her, other than her picture and that knowledge that nobody had ever seen her before, which means she's probably not, she looks like she's a working woman, but she's probably not working at the grocer or somewhere particularly public, or else in a place with who knows how many kids, dozens at least, all there, nobody recognizing her. That's bizarre. If she works somewhere publicly facing, so possibly the help somewhere, possibly a clerk job somewhere that's more private offices, but definitely not somewhere where she has to do much upkeep, probably, as it were.
No, maybe she's in one of these houses and she's just a maid.
Potentially. That would make a lot of sense for her. That thought had crossed my mind. The other thing that may or may not be related at all to this is, having looked into this article and the family in that bowl, there were 3 nieces and an aunt that are still alive descendants of that family and that are in the area. 2 of which should be in their 20s. The eldest sibling, I don't have an age for, and I don't rightly know how old the aunt would be yet. But if this woman is in her 30s, potentially,
Mm-hmm.
30s or 40s, could be the oldest sibling or the aunt. If they had the family heirloom bowl, it's not like their family is unfamiliar with some disturbing things that might lead them to some horrible attempts to do a ritual or who knows what else. I'm fret at the thought.
Well, I suppose we should maybe start by digging into some of these names and seeing what you can find.
I'm going to try to find the aunt's house and see if she can give me any information on like her nieces or their whereabouts.
Well, there's always the Arkham Historical Society, and then also City Hall should have records. You could take these names to City Hall and maybe see what comes up.
I might, because Miss Thurgood helped me find these familial connections, I might ask her to help me go through these records. Just make it quicker since this is already in the papers.
I think if you feel the need to make things official, you have my authority to do so.
Thank you.
Is there an Arkham phone book that we could utilize?
Nope.
Well, aren't they backwards?
You would call the operator.
I'm happy to go over to the Arkham Historical Society detective and get some more information on the Lowe and Moore family.
So you say that behind me in the doorway. Oh, Miss Thurgood, you're so eager. Fantastic. I know that your brother already had to go home for the day, but I would love the help sifting through the information at Town Hall and at the county clerk's office.
Fabulous. I love going through old stuff. And Charles, he couldn't miss tea time, so he had to go home.
Yeah. Fantastic. We scurry off to look through town records.
Love that. Love that. We'll do some of that in a montage coming up. But first, we're going to stop in and see Miss Chamberlain as she gets back to her family. So, Miss Chamberlain, you visit your parents. We'll say it is the afternoon into evening. You're likely coming on to supper time for them. So you step back into your parents' house. You do so easily through the front door. And I would like you to make me a listen roll.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound good. Oh, I got a 15 under 50. That's a hard success.
So yeah, hard success on listen. The house is exceedingly quiet. There is no phonograph playing. There is no movement within the kitchen by your mother. There's no creak from the upstairs floorboards. It's so quiet you can hear the wind outside.
And I'll walk into the house like really slowly. I'm not going to call out for anyone yet, but I'm going to walk into like the main room and I'm going to check the kitchen and I'm going to look for my parents without saying anything directly, because if it's this quiet, it feels a little too eerie. And if something has happened to them, the less noise I make, the safer I am.
Okay. You creep from the foyer into the main room. To your right, you see the dining room. In the dining room, you see a horrific scene. At the head of the table, your father is face down in a plate. He is motionless. All around this room, there are pictures you passed the last time you were here, family photos. And all along this wall, spread throughout the family photos, there is a red, bloodied handprint that has sort of moved through the building here. So along the walls, on the corners, on the pictures, covering them, like somebody put their hand in a vat of blood and has scrawled it all around. It got to a single picture frame over there in the corner by where your father sits. Not directly behind him, but next to him. And you see that picture frame has been punched. The glass has spidered and is sort of broken out. And you see one specific photo has been not destroyed, but damaged.
What's it a picture of?
It's a picture of family members you're not necessarily familiar with. You see an uncle and maybe his wife that he married and a couple of kids. You know that they're attached to the Chamberlain family. You just don't know necessarily how. I mean, families back then were pretty large and they came from all over the place. Getting a look at that picture draws you in line and perspective with the kitchen, which is where your mother lays collapsed on the floor. I'm going to have you roll sanity now.
Yeah, that checks out. Hey, I rolled real bad, so that's cool. Terrific. I rolled a 96 above my 54.
Okay. So that's a failure. That's not great. I think it's reasonable, given the scene, to say this probably costs you a D6 sanity. Oh, interesting. I'm going to take 1 from you.
Wow. That's not what I expected, so I'll take it.
Nor I. It's shocking. It is, as your brain begins to catch up with the sight that it is taking in.
I am crying, I am sure. And I don't realize that I'm crying. I'm shocked, but I'm not so shocked to realize that if I try to essentially like resuscitate my parents, that I might be putting myself in a precarious position. But I also don't think, at least right now, not to like call the police, because I'm just kind of stuck still, shocked into place. The scene isn't doing me any favors because I was just here. I just had dinner with them a couple of days ago.
You did?
And when the initial shock finally wears off, all sense of sensibility also goes out the window, and I will rush to my mother in the kitchen and see, like, if she's cold or if she's breathing.
So she is not cold, but she is, if breathing, it's very shallow. You're concerned very deeply at this point. You're fairly certain that your mother might still be alive.
I'm going to call for a doctor.
Okay. You pick up the receiver, you mash down on the tapping bar, and you get a dial tone, which picks up, and you hear an operator's voice. Arkham operator, can I help you?
Yes, my name is Catherine Chamberlain, and I'll give her my address. I need a doctor. I need police. I need help. I haven't been able to check on my father yet, but I can't tell if my mother is alive. There was violence.
We'll get someone to you right away. I'll connect you with the police department.
Thank you.
A bunch of clicks happen and you get connected to the police department. Now, I don't know how long both Detective Locke and Miss Thurgood were at the police station afterwards, but I'm going to say you have probably already left for records. Seems reasonable. Miss Chamberlain, you get someone back on the phone who tells you that they are sending a police officer over right away to not touch anything and to make sure that you are safe. They ask you a lot of rapid fire questions like, is there anyone else in the house? How did it happen? All sorts of things that your brain gets immediately overloaded with.
Right, and I don't have an answer to a lot of those questions because I didn't look through the entire house to make sure that there was no one else here. I haven't investigated my mother's body to see if she was stabbed or if her wrists were slit or, if my father was poisoned or strangled. I have no idea the kind of violence, just that at some point there was some violence because there's a bunch of blood all over this house.
Mm-hmm. Yep, correct.
And that's what I'll tell the officer or the receptionist or whoever it is I'm talking to, that I don't know a lot of this information. Should I wait in the front yard is a question that I'll ask, because if that's the place that they want me to be so that it's easy to find the house or, whatever, I'm happy to do that. I'm waiting for instructions at this point.
Yeah. They tell you to wait outside the house.
Okay. I will probably, all decorum aside, I will probably just, once I get off the phone, I will go out of the house, I will close and lock the door, and just sit in front of it.
I will leave you there sitting and waiting for an officer. So Detective Locke and Miss Thurgood, you are going to a clerk's office or county records, city records, etc. So we'll do this a little bit as a playthrough rather than the complete blow by blow. So this is essentially a library use roll to see what you can potentially drum up about the names.
Is that one for each of us or just me? Or how are we?
Oh, no, it's absolutely a roll for each one of you.
Fabulous.
Because it's two different people searching.
Yep, I got a 31 under 45.
Okay.
I got a 29 under 50.
Okay, so 4 more points of luck if you were to spend it makes that a hard success. Totally up to you. I would just tell you as your keeper, there are beneficial knowledges that are beneficial items of information that are available the higher you roll.
Yeah, I'm spending that luck.
So, Ms. Thurgood, you find quite easily the location of Lillian Moore, although it does not make you feel good. So Lillian Moore is a patient at Arkham Sanitarium, where she has been since 1920. It doesn't necessarily say why, but city records do show that she was confined there.
Wonder if we'll be able to talk to Ms. Moore at the Arkham Sanitarium. It doesn't say why she was admitted, but maybe it has something to do with the deaths of her parents.
Possibly. You'd have to go and check out.
Oh, I'm going to check it out.
You're thinking, this is right up my alley. This is the sanitarium. This is where I need to be. And so on the hard success, Detective, you find information which seems to show that Amelia married a few years back. It looks like 5 years or so. She married a man named Irving Purcell. And so her name has changed, and now she is Amelia Purcell. I can give you an Arkham history roll if you want to know more about Irving Purcell.
Yes, please. 30 on my 30. So just barely.
You don't even get it in records lookup. You get it in passing by one of the people in City Hall once you sort of mention or pull Amelia and Irving's marriage license. One of them mentions that he works for the Miskatonic Valley Savings Bank.
Oh, thank you very much.
You even find an address for the Purcell family. They live over on Kerwin Street. It looks like records show that he purchased the house about 3 years ago.
That is fabulous. Okay, anything about that younger sister?
No.
Interesting. Nothing about Myrtle. Okay. I will have to ask her. No. Please, what's up?
I'm wondering if we should find an address for Miss Cornelia. Were you able to ascertain a location?
It is certainly something the two of you search for, but you do not find it.
Well, I guess we'll have to ask Lillian and Amelia.
Absolutely. I think that we should see Miss Amelia Purcell, since she's gotten married. Good for her. We should go see Mrs. Purcell so that she might be able to brace us a little bit for what we might be walking into at the sanitarium. If Lillian is even talkative, like communicative still, or if something else happened. I mean, sometimes that's a thing.
Okay. The two of you can, if that's what you decide to do, play through and go to the Purcell house.
Can you state again where Mr. Purcell purchased the house?
He purchased a house on Kerwin Street.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would be driving Miss Thurgood and I to the Purcell house on Kerwin Street before we go to the sanitarium.
You do so. You arrive at the Purcell house. Now, it is now evening, just so you're aware. It has moved on along.
When we say evening, like how late, probably?
It's probably like 5:30 or 6 p.m.
Okay.
You would know based on your own manners and police work and stuff that Dad taught you. You are treading very closely to the line of when it is okay to call on someone.
Fair. I don't know what the visitation hours at the sanitarium might look like, though I'm police, and so that probably doesn't apply to me.
Correct.
I'm trying to figure out if it's ruder to ambush her sister at the sanitarium and then talk to her, or interrupt her dinner and then talk to her sister at the sanitarium.
Well, maybe we could call the operator and ring their house and make sure that it's okay to stop by.
Totally up to you. I mean, you said you were already going there, so you tell me.
No, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. It's fine.
And I'm just staring at Detective Locke in the car. Like, but what if they're eating supper?
They might be eating supper, but it's late enough that her husband is home, so we can talk to him as well and get his reactions to this, rather than during the day where he'd be at work at the bank.
Well, I hope they have tea. I'm famished. I don't think we ate. We didn't eat lunch today.
I will stop and buy you dinner myself when we leave their house.
Sounds like a date.
The two of you pull up outside this Victorian style home that sits on Corwin Street. It's a nice house. It seems to be well appointed, well cared for, and much as you might imagine, as someone who works in the financial segment of life, Irving seems to have done okay for himself.
Good for them.
You walk up to the door. I can't wait for this.
I will give a curt knock, and I will wait politely.
You knock. A tall gentleman comes to the door. He is dressed in what appears to be a butler's uniform. Very fashionable. Black suit, white shirt, tie, the whole nine.
Impressive. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I am with the Arkham Police, and I had some questions for Amelia Purcell. This is her house, correct?
This is the Purcell residence, yes?
Are they home currently?
They are. Let me go and get Mr. Purcell for you. If you would just wait here. He sort of invites you in on the inside the house, just right here on the entryway.
I'll have Miss Thurgood step inside with me, and we'll wait.
So the inside of the house is something a little strange. It is filled with all sorts of different Victorian era items. It's overstuffed, and there's Edwardian draperies, and there's bric-a-brac all over the place. There's also a lot of what you would see as stuffed animals.
Huh.
I mean, not in those senses that we would have them today, but like actual animals in dioramas. Like there's one with like 4 or 5 field mice who are like having a tea party, and this looks like more than just passing fancy for someone.
Interesting. I'll take notes on what I can see from here.
An older gentleman, probably in his 40s, comes back. He's wearing a suit and coat. Doesn't appear to be dressed for going out, but he is reasonably well dressed. Even his outfit seems a little dated. He looks a little Edwardian. He has a dour expression on his face. His hair is sort of plastered to one side, and he joins you there. Good evening, Detective. How can I assist you?
Hi, I'm Detective Beatrice Locke. This is my consultant, Miss Annie Mae Thurgood from the Miskatonic University. I needed to ask your wife some questions about her family if she was home, because they might be relevant to a case that we are working on. I'm sorry for interrupting you at this hour.
It is quite late, but I don't know if Amelia is available to speak at this time.
Oh, is she not home?
No, Detective, she is home.
There'll be a passing look of confusion on Beatrice Locke's face as she tries to find the words for this. If she is home and not presently indisposed, I'm not sure why she couldn't answer a couple questions about her family briefly, and then I'll let you go about your evenings. I have no need to detain her or take her from you for very long or anything. I just had a few questions about some living family members of hers.
His eyebrows go up very slightly when you say the word detain. Yeah, you see, Detective, Amelia is very tired. And I don't know if she would be physically prepared to deal with any sort of questions this evening.
Oh, is she unwell? I'm so sorry.
I don't know if I want to get into the details, but she's upstairs now, resting.
I hate to ask, but do you mind if I use your bathroom?
Well, the washroom? Absolutely. Tyson will take you to it. You do see the butler sort of appear, and he says, right this way, miss.
Oh, thank you. And as I'm walking with Tyson, the butler, I will look around, see if there's any open doors to any of the rooms.
Yeah, you bet. There's open. The one thing you would notice going through the house a little bit deeper, Annie Mae, is that you would notice that this house uses oil lamps rather than electric lights.
I think they said it wasn't an electrical fire that started the kitchen. Yeah, so that makes sense why they, little PTSD with electricity. So
Tyson shows you to the bathroom, the washroom.
Yeah, I let him know I can find my own way back. That no need to wait.
Very, very good. He turns around and walks off.
Yeah, I go into the washroom and I peek my head out, wait around to see if he's still there.
Yeah, you peek out and you don't see anybody in the hallway.
So I'm gonna sneak down. I'm gonna go to the right, or if I didn't come in from the right, I'm gonna go to the right where I didn't come from. I'm gonna go down the hall sneakily.
You're gonna try to find your way upstairs?
Yeah. Just want to take a look around.
You're attempting to be stealthy, so I'm going to have Annie Mae roll stealth, and I'm going to oppose, of course, with Tyson's listen, the listen of a butler.
Tyson, my stealth is so awesome. I got an 8 under 20.
That is good. That's a hard success.
I'm sneaky.
You very covertly get down the hallway and find what you think is a servant staircase that goes up. It's thin. It's not grand. It's not appointed. It's useful, though.
Thinking to myself, man, Detective Locke's going to kill me. God, Charles is going to kill me. But I got to do this. We got to figure it out. My researcher brain is it's leading the way.
Mm-hmm. You head upstairs.
I do.
It doesn't take you terribly long to find a room that has a door that is slightly propped open.
I can look into it without opening it more?
Yep, exactly.
Looking.
You see inside the room a woman in a rocking chair. She has a Victorian-style hairdo. She has a Victorian-style dress on. And she seems... Maybe she's asleep. It's hard to say. She seems a little out of it.
Like she's drugged?
That's something you probably would have to be a little bit further into the room to sort of inspect and determine.
Yeah, do I see anything? I mean, does the room just look like a normal bedroom?
It does. Yeah, it does look like a regular bedroom, but this is definitely not. It has the same sort of Victorian era appointments in it, right? So there's the light in the room is from a gas lamp that is nearby.
Yeah, I'll go into the room a little further and just. God, I'm afraid she's going to start screaming at me. Yeah, so I'll go up to her. Mrs. Purcell, are you okay?
You hear a mumble from her. She looks up at you. She looks really drowsy.
I heard you were feeling unwell.
She looks up at you, and you can tell that she looks pretty drowsy. So I know you might not have it in the skill, but I'm going to give you the roll. Anyway, you can make a medicine roll for me. Not first aid.
My medicine is 1. That's amazing.
Never know.
I got a 71, so it included a 1.
Sure. So yeah, she looks pretty drowsy.
I just kneel down next to the rocking chair. Is she looking outside or is she facing like the door?
No, she faces the door.
That's weirder. That's weirder than just looking outside. But Mrs. Purcell, I wanted to ask you about your family.
Mm-hmm. Family?
Yeah. Do you remember them having a bowl with etchings on it? It was a family heirloom.
Bowl. Mother's bowl.
I'm going right to it, Detective Locke.
I haven't seen my family in so long.
Oh, yeah. Lillian and Myrtle? And your aunt, Cornelia?
I haven't seen Lillian since before the fire. Oh, the fire.
Oh, yeah. I'm really sorry to hear about what happened with the fire.
And Myrtle, that poor thing, always scared of everything.
Does she still live in Arkham?
I don't know. Maybe. It's been forever. I'm just so tired.
Are you taking anything? Do you have any medicine or?
Mm-hmm. Twice a day, Irving gives me my medicine.
Annie hides the look of whatever. She feels like that maybe he's drugging her on purpose. I'm still kneeling next to her.
Mm-hmm.
Was Lillian put in Arkham Sanitarium before the fire?
She looks confused for a moment. I don't remember her being in a sanitarium.
Oh, where was she before the fire?
We all lived together.
Oh, you had said you hadn't seen her since before the fire, so I'm sorry if I misheard you.
She looks a little restless all of a sudden.
Is there something I can get you? Do you need a blanket, some water?
She looks up at you for a moment, and it's almost like she's there, and you can tell that her eyes are this same sort of hazel green color, but her pupils are really dilated.
Why do you take medicine?
Stares you in the eye.
Amelia, what kind of medicine? If you don't mind me calling you Amelia, I'm so terrible. I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Annie May, and I'm working with the police, looking into something, and I'm just hoping that you can provide some information. So,
Irving said it's best. He knows what's best for me.
So you didn't ask for but why does he give you the medicine?
I need it. He said I need it.
I still look really unconvinced that she needs this, but did a doctor prescribe you that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you can tell me about your family? Family history?
You just watch her hand start to tremble a little bit. And then both of them tremble. And you realize that on her hands, she has bruises, like yellowed skin.
Like somebody abused her?
You don't know.
Oh, we don't got time for that. I look at her hand. Do you mind if I just want to make sure you're okay. Do you mind if I look you over? I'm just looking for additional bruises besides on the hands. Is there anything on the arms, the chest?
Yeah, you can go ahead and first aid roll.
Well, my first aid is lame too. I got a 58 over 30. I see nothing.
You see nothing. You're not sure. Downstairs, Detective Irving Purcell turns to you and says, "I'm sorry we couldn't be more of assistance to you. It's not something we comfortable talking about."
I see. Well, if your wife is unavailable, I'm sorry to bring you discomfort, but I have some questions I'll need to ask you then.
I'll do what I can to answer them.
What can you tell me about Amelia's sisters?
I know that there was a terrible fire that separated some of the girls.
Amelia and Myrtle from Lillian, I'm presuming.
Mm-hmm.
Have you or your wife had any contact or known locations for Lillian since the fire?
I am aware that Lillian is being treated.
Treated for what?
Mental instability.
I see. And the younger sister, Myrtle?
I have not seen or heard of Myrtle in years.
How many years?
Probably just after the wedding. She didn't approve of the wedding.
I see. Why didn't she approve of your wedding? To your best knowledge, sir, I'm sorry.
Why didn't she approve? Well, she didn't like the fact that I worked in finance.
Oh? That seems like a respectable enough job. Why would she not? I mean, you're clearly doing very well for yourself and for taking care of her sister and quite the home and life you've built for yourself. Why would a younger sister disapprove of that for the only sister she had at the time?
It was a question I asked her. I asked Amelia the same thing. It didn't make any sense. She knew that I was going to lift Amelia out of the financial place that she was in, and I was going to be able to provide a home for her and many of the benefits of that.
Let me try this from a different approach. What about their aunt? Are you familiar with an aunt, Amelia?
An aunt who?
Amelia Lowe?
Oh, not directly. Most of the girls were on their own, is my understanding.
After their parents and the unfortunate fire, if they were living on their own, where were they displaced to? Where were they living?
My understanding is that Myrtle had taken up with one of the houses in French Hill and was working. She may have been close to Cornelia for a time. Cornelia is a midwife. And as far as Lillian, soon after the fire, she was regrettably committed. With what money and skills Amelia had at the time after the fire, she was working as a clerk's assistant, which is where we met.
I'm glad that Amelia has such a supportive husband in her life. She's seemingly gone through so much already for such a young woman. So, Amelia hasn't had contact with her aunt that you know of?
No. Unfortunately, her condition has worsened and her nerves are so bad now that going outside is something we reserve for the best days.
Oh, I see.
But they don't talk about after these events is the long-term difficulties. Someone's nerves are shot. It's difficult to recover.
That is true. It can be quite hard to recover from the stress of something like that.
Yes. Tyson, would you check on Miss, was it Thurgood? Just to make sure that she has everything that she needs. You hear the butler say, "Right away, sir." He turns around and walks off.
I must be intruding so heavily on your evening, and I'm so sorry. You have a beautiful house full of so many artifacts and antiquities and everything. Are any of Amelia's family's antiquities in this home? Any heirlooms?
No. We were, unfortunately, we were not able to recover much. She has a few items, but they're all upstairs and personal. But the home is something that we've managed to decorate together. He sort of smiles and looks happy.
I can see you're quite proud of it, and it's something to be proud of. It's a beautiful collection that you have. You mentioned a few items from the family that are personal, and I hate to ask because they are personal, but one of Amelia's family heirlooms was found at the scene of a crime recently, and I must ask to know what other heirlooms might be here that you're aware of.
Well, she tends to wear her mother's dress. She has a dress she wears quite often and is from her mother, and some other pieces of silver and whatnot. The collection's not complete, unfortunately, but
I do not need to inquire further about the dress. I'm glad that she has something like that to connect her with her mother. But silver might be relevant. Are any with the family crest or anything on it, or?
Indeed. Yep. Made by a silversmith in Newburyport.
I'm going to need to see those items, sir. Please. You have no idea how instrumental they might be to something very distressing that is happening in our city. It'd be a great favor to the police.
I'm always happy to help out Arkham's finest. If you'll just wait here, I'll grab one of the cases. You realize that you're probably running out of time.
Miss Purcell, I hate to keep pushing, but do you know anything more about that bowl that was your mother's? What it was used for? What the meaning of it is?
There's no bowl. Irving said it's gone.
Like you had it and then your husband did something with it?
I haven't seen it since I was a child.
But Irving said it was gone?
Gone.
Well, okay. Well, you rest. I pat her hands lightly and stand back up. And I quickly, but quietly, try to go down the stairs.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you an important question. Are you going to go down the servants' stairs you were down, or are you going to go down the main staircase?
Oh, the servants' stair. I'm going to go back the way I came.
Okay, you go back the way you came. You encounter Tyson at the foot of the staircase.
Sir, I got lost on my way back from the washroom. I am so sorry.
He gives you a very knowing nod and sort of points back down the hall. Right this way.
I don't mean to interrupt. But do you think you could answer a couple questions for me? Have you worked for the Purcell family for a long time?
Anything you need to know, you can certainly ask Mr. Purcell. He sort of continues to move you forward.
I have a look of defeat on my face because I really don't want to ask Mr. Purcell about the bruises on his wife's hands.
Minutes later, Mr. Purcell Irving stops back down to the foyer where Annie and Detective Locke have been corralled now. And he produces a wooden box, thin, wide. And when he opens it, you see a set of silverware, flatware, and very small stamps on every single one of those are stamped with the exact same family seal that you found on the bowl.
And this is all of them?
This is all we have.
Okay.
It's my understanding there were saucers and a charging plate and some sort of bowl. But it never came with Amelia. My understanding is that it's incomplete, and of course the smith is long since passed.
Sure. And you never saw the other pieces that didn't come with Amelia with with Myrtle or anything?
No, my understanding. When Amelia moved in, she moved this as part of it. And I had asked where the rest of the set was, and she hadn't the faintest idea. She thinks it was all lost in the fire.
It is currently in evidence, and I will not be able to release it until after my investigation is over. But I may be able to reunite her with one more piece of her family silver when this is over.
Irving seems genuinely happy to hear that. Oh, wonderful. That's great.
And you work at the savings bank, sir?
I do. I'm part of the management staff there.
Management staff. Very nice. If I were to have any follow-up questions, you said your wife's nerves and everything are a problem, and I want to be respectful. What hours do you work so that I might be able to contact you appropriately?
All right, so I'm going to ask you something, Detective. What is your credit rating? Okay. He says, if you'd like to meet with Amelia, I can certainly set up something perhaps tomorrow or next week, if that does not work, maybe 11 a.m.
That would be very helpful. Time is sadly of the essence here, so I would appreciate tomorrow rather than next week. Sir, you seem like a fine, upstanding member of the community. May I trust you with something?
Certainly. He seems to stand up a little straighter and adjusts his coat.
There has been a murder that this relates to.
God.
I know, it is a ghastly thing. A college student, in fact, was murdered. A fine young man. A terrible travesty. A piece of that set you were talking about, a bowl from Amelia's family, was found at the murder scene, which means that if I do not find who might have stolen it from her family or whatever might have caused this circumstance, your wife's family might be implicated in this murder in some way, which would be terrible for her and for you. I do not want this. But you can see why I'm so eager to find what might have happened there. This is not a threat. I need to be so clear with you. I'm trying to keep this away from Amelia and her sisters as best I can. I assume that bowl hasn't been seen in quite some time by any of you. But this does mean I need to talk to all of Amelia's family members as soon as possible to find out how long ago they might have seen it, anything that might help. If any of them heard their mom before the fire talk about that being stolen, anything might help keep this away from you and your family. And that is what I hope.
I understand. I appreciate your willingness to make sure that this doesn't tumble onto the family. As far as I know, Amelia didn't have it with her. We took a good accounting of all of her things when she moved in to the house. But as for Lillian, I don't imagine she had any opportunity.
That makes me feel like Myrtle might be my best bet, but it sounds like you don't even have a dress or anything for her.
No, I don't.
Is she still unmarried as far as you know? Should her last name still be the one I expect it to be, or?
As far as I know, Amelia didn't talk very much about Myrtle, other than she said that she was a scared child.
Interesting. Well, I have no reason to believe that your wife or her sisters are involved in this, but having found her family crest at the murder scene, it is so important that I get to speak to her sooner rather than later before anything else might upset your wife further related to any of this as well.
Of course. I'm certain she's done no wrong.
I am certain of it too, but as one of Arkham's detectives, I must get to the truth of this and protect anyone else from further harm, including your wife. So if I may assume that 11 a.m. I can show up from what you said?
Certainly, we'll be ready for you. We'll make sure that Amelia is ready and she's had what she needs.
I do truly appreciate this. I will be here in the morning and Oh, Miss Thurgood, your turn. I will take my associate and we will get out of your hair. But I shall see you on the morrow.
Splendid. Thank you.
Annie gives Mr. Purcell a look.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps disdain as she's walking out.
Okay, disdain. You two walk out and are heading towards Arkham Sanatorium then. And before we go, Miss Chamberlain, the police do arrive. And they take you into their care. Not custody, but they make sure you have what you need. A car is called from St. Mary's to transport both your mother and your father, who are alive, but in very critical condition, to the hospital. They declare the house a crime scene.
As I'm unsurprised.
And they tell you that for your safety, they would like to take you to the police station.
Sounds good to me.
You get taken to the police station where you are placed in a office, and they tell you that they're going to have an officer come and speak with you. So that is where we're going to wrap this episode of The Queen of the Night. So I hope you've enjoyed our tale so far. There's a lot of twists and turns yet to come. And to see where our investigators are going to go next, we'll have to wait until the next episode. So thank you and good night.